Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butala.
I'm Jill DeWitt.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
Hey, Steve Butala for Land Academy. Welcome to our Cash Flow from Land show. Jill is with us almost as always.
Almost always.
In this episode, Jill and I discuss our creation, SuccessPlant.com. It's one of my personal favorite success stories and creations, I guess, that we've done since we started Land Academy here. It's an online community where our members and you and I and Jill collaborate on anything land and success related. This tool kind of separates us from our competitors, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I love it.
I know. I had this crazy idea, Jill, that we should read some of the super successful stuff and some of the questions in general that we get in SuccessPlant. And then I'd love to have your kind of take on, since we sort of look at stuff in a different way, and I think it's really helpful, your take on how it's working and what happened, and maybe even tell the story about how we started it.
Should we start
or
there?
Or why we started it.
Why we started it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just love it. This is a fun show for me because it's nice to talk about one of our great little tools that we offer our people, and it's just inspirational. Not to get too far ahead, and I think why it's named SuccessPlant, which is really your brainchild, Stephen, was coming up with that name. That's what the .com
was available at the time.
That's all that was left.
There's a lot more to go into it than that.
So, yes, but because we can see it growing into so many other things. Right now, it's really around our niche and our land business, but there's so many things that you and I are working on, and we'll get to that later. But it's all about success.
Right.
That's it. And talk about I go there for inspiration sometimes. It's just kind of like, oh, wow, look what these people are doing. Look how great this is. Look at this money this person's making. And we'll get into some more of that. So to back up, how, in my words.
I know. Let's do this together because I think both of our words are appropriate
for
this little story.
All right. We'll share how SuccessPlant came to be. I was knee deep in a ton of new members coming in to our Land Academy program. And I found myself getting a little bit bogged down with wonderful questions. And I realized, gosh, this person had that question and that one kind of had a similar question. Gosh, wouldn't it be great if I could just answer it at one time for everyone? And so I went to you, Stephen, and I said, help. Can we please come up with some way that we can all kind of communicate together and answer some questions once, share great information, and gosh, let's brag about our successes and how well we're all doing. And then you said, I have the answer.
I said, why don't you take a vacation with your girlfriend in California and I'll sit here and work. And
yeah, that's exactly what you said.
And that's what we did.
That's what would happen, which was so wonderful. Thank you very much. You take great care of me.
The truth is, I really actually enjoyed the super quiet time. I don't know, honestly.
Quiet time.
It was almost, I swear, from this time that I said, I could have paid somebody to do this, but from the time that I sat down, it was like 36 hours later with a little bit of sleep on and off and a bunch of, canned spaghetti all over the floor. We figured I got the website done, and I think it still shows it's very reminiscent of how it looked in the beginning. So, I think it's doing its job fantastically well.
It is. Hundreds of members just signing up. It's totally free right now. So it's just a great environment. So Stephen created literally this fantastic online environment.
It's a community. Online
community. We have all these different forums where you can ask different questions, and it's really about our land flipping niche.
You know what it ended up being without like an unintended consequence? So probably every couple of days, maybe even more often than that, Jill, I'm sure that this happens to you too. Somebody calls me or emails me and says, look, I am extremely skeptical about this and really every type of real estate education thing. And I get that. I agree. There's some crazy stuff on late night TV, and we like to separate ourselves from that completely. But one of the things that I do with people who are very skeptical and relatively, they're handling it in a really bright way. I asked them to go on a SuccessPlant and just post a regular question in a regular form, and they do. And the question should be something like this: I'm really skeptical. I don't believe this thing works, or however you want to phrase it. Mm-hmm. And I'd really like to hear from some people that have purchased this thing or are going through the program and they're having some success and it's working. And every single time, almost without exception, that convinces them or kind of pushes them over the edge to really buy into the program. And this is not something that, this is not something that's putting food on the table for Jill and I. This is truly, Land Academy in general, for Jill and I, is a way to kind of give back.
Yes.
And to share these great real estate opportunities, these low cost real estate opportunities, and help people make some money. There's tons of stories in SuccessPlant about it.
Right. Yeah. So you don't even have to get an account. I love what you said, because if you want to go that and really get some firm feedback right then, but you don't even have to do that. You can just go, skip. You can just you can get into SuccessPlant and just read some of the stories of what people are posting. All the successes are right there. For example, I just saw you read. So
let me read an entry that one of our students, Mike Dugan, we actually did a podcast with him and posted it maybe a month ago by now. But this is his comment, a day and a half ago. I just got a signed contract down payment in the mail for my first terms deal. So we talk about selling property for cash, flipping them for cash, and then doing terms. And here's a breakdown. My total all-in cost for the property is a 1.15 acre property in Colorado was $1,450. And which is a little rich for Jill's blood. She would probably pay $100 for that property, but that's a topic for a whole different podcast. Mm-hmm. So purchased for $1,450, sold it for $10,000, $1,500 down. Finance the balance at $8,500, 12%. It's $127 a month for 9 years and 2 months. So, and I'll stop right there on the entry, because that right there is a base hit. Mm-hmm. So we talk about $10,000 a month for life.
There you go.
It only takes several deals just like that, and you're there.
Exactly.
So that's what I love about SuccessPlant. Mm-hmm. I log on there. I have to confess, I log on there and just snoop around. I have a username that's not really me.
Oh, do you now? I didn't know that.
I don't do any entries. I just go in there and look around.
I log in and it's me, and everybody knows it's me. And what's so great about it?
I feel proud. It's like watching your kid do well at baseball or something.
There's times that I log in, I have every intention of answering a bunch of questions. I'm like, okay, here I am, and I'm looking for questions. I'm like, oh, okay, nobody needs me there. Oh, okay, nobody needs me there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We, I think, did very well with our program and setting folks up for success, that a lot of SuccessPlant is just success stories.
Right.
And just little tips. Sometimes it's little tips like, hey, put this on your answer machine, you'll get a better response. Or, hey, maybe use this to mail out letters. It's a little bit less expensive. I mean, sometimes it's a lot of little tweaks that I see, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I just read, we were looking for a couple, right before the show started, I was looking for a couple comments and questions, and I just read a comment that, it was a question. A new member asked an older member that's been doing it for a while, what's the best way to send these mailers out? Because we send out a ton of mail. We send out offers, or we teach sending out offers, and then having them come back to you. The ones that are signed, you obviously do the deals. And the original company that we used to send the mailers out to process them turned out to not be the best one. So on their own, a Land Academy member went out and found a better deal with a better company, more reputable company to send these mailers out. And now we've all changed. Even Jill and I have changed. We've changed our land estate company, our real estate company, to, we've changed the way we do business because of a student, which I just think.
I love it. And you put it on the resource pages too, didn't you?
I discontinued the old one and input hers.
It was fantastic. And that can happen. That can change. Even the best way that we found, or the cheapest credit card processing company, 2 years ago, there might be somebody better today. So it's great stuff. So yeah, little things like that.
Yeah. We use Stripe.
I just heard that.
Are
you going where I think you're going?
I don't know. I'm in love with Stripe.
Well, I heard there might be a cheaper way.
I mean, I think there are cheaper ways, but with that,
That's
I don't know, man.
You and I we do that though. So, hey, this is a whole nother podcast, but sometimes you get, you pay, sometimes I'm willing to pay more to get what I want.
Give me an example. What I mean? Some stuff I think you need to pay for, period.
Okay, purses.
Some stuff I think.
You asked for an example, I'm giving you an example. All right. The purse that I carry is absolutely not the least expensive out there. And I can guarantee the less expensive one will do just as well. However.
You might be talking about two different things. Okay.
Okay. Well, that was where I was going for it. Well, sometimes I'll pay for quality. And I mean in an item and in service. I do both. So that's where I was going with it. What were you going to say about
with
that?
Stripe specifically, I mean, we don't get anything there's no affiliation with this at all, but I just love Stripe. Yeah. I love, and I think it's for developers, for, not real estate developers, but for IT developers. And there's a ton of support, and it's just, I mean, have we ever had any credit card payment issues ever since we started? How many payments have we processed?
Wow.
So that's why I just think maybe if it's it's not percentage points, but a few tenths of a point more expensive.
In little fees or anything. Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things that, and you run that risk too. Gee, I don't know. Have you ever migrated a website, Stephen?
I just migrated.
Thank you.
All of our websites to one to save a bunch of money. And I'm going to say it could have gone a little better.
I know. So, yeah.
But it's okay now.
Thank you. Thank you for...
I don't think I could have bought my way out of that, though. That was there were some innate problems going on, which is why we did it. We had to do it to solve those problems.
Yeah. It
was a culmination of over 8 years of taping together websites, and we just had to get them all together and make them work right.
Exactly. And in the end, it probably saved hundreds of dollars a year. It sounded like. I know it. I wrote it all down.
Here's an example of some stuff that you have to pay for.
You're going to totally let my purses thing go, and I love it. Go ahead.
If you're building a house, you got to pay. You might be find some cheaper labor, but you can't. You got to get the right materials, and I just think that's why I think most contractors I know, and I know a bunch, have a little overinflated sense of how much stuff costs.
Wait, say it again. Overinflated sense of how much stuff costs.
Yeah, other things other than contracting. Like if you ask a contractor how much a used car is, he's going to say it costs $80,000 when you can get it for $12,000.
Okay.
It's just because they're
used to,
in a good way, bent on buying the right stuff in the first place and paying for it and having the project come out okay.
If you have a good one, and I agree with that.
How much does SuccessPlant cost? Nothing.
Gee, it's kind of free right now.
Yeah.
Right now,
yeah.
So it's great.
What else besides purses do you have to? You think you got to pay for?
Oops, you came back to that, didn't you? Shoes.
Yeah.
Jewelry.
Oh my gosh! It's Jill Day.
Hey, speaking of Christmas.
Here's another entry.
Okay.
This is from John D. This is actually 16 hours ago. I've been very fortunate to have some good success. I started out with Jack, our competitor's program, not going to say his last name, and learned a lot of the basics. I really learned that when I found Steve and Jill's site. I really learned the most when I found Jill and Steve's site. Man, you can't pay for this kind of publicity.
I know.
And Seth Williams helped me too a lot. I love Seth. We have Seth on the show all the time.
We love Seth.
So I found my greatest responses from doing very focused searches. For example, I'd pull up a GIS website, which is a mapping website for a county. that I want to search in, and then I look for the properties, that have had the same owner for many years and that haven't been built on. So he's found his little niche out of our little niche, and he said he's got an even better response than a better mailer response than we actually budget for, which is amazing. Which means it's more than 5 to 20%.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that I love about this business is there's a niche within a niche within a niche within a niche. We can all profit tremendously in this environment.
Right.
I think it's fantastic. So, hey, I want to share something. Are we done with? Because I had a success thing I wanted to share.
Yeah.
Speaking of SuccessPlant, I have a success. Okay, the reason I was late today. Did I tell you why I was late today?
Go ahead. Yes, you did.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Okay. So I walk in, Stephen has this look on his face, which is a where have you been look. But I'm like, wait, this is a good reason that I was on the phone. And it really is. I got one heck of a deal, phone call. I received a phone call just a little while ago from a woman. Her mom is 91 years old. They just moved her into a home, and she's, going through her paperwork and just kind of cleaning up some stuff. And lo and behold, found a file with some land that she had known about. She says, we bought it when I remember my dad buying it. I was 14. I'm 50 something now. And she said, so we've owned it for 40 years. And she goes, and we just want to get rid of it. Mom's not going to do it. I'm just kind of cleaning up stuff. And we found your letter from 2007 in here and wondering if you still wanted to buy it. So, of course, I say, well, can you give me the information? Absolutely. One is 30-something acres and one is 40 acres.
That defines unwanted vacant land, which is in our slogan.
Fantastic.
How to buy unwanted vacant land.
Exactly.
For next to nothing.
Right.
And sell it for more.
And what I plan to do with it is like what you just talked about a few minutes ago about Mike Nugan and his terms deal. This is a wonderful, wonderful property for something like that, where I can sell it, get a nice down payment, which will probably cover the cost of the property, and then sell it on terms for a very, very long time.
What a great deal. So, I mean, here's the numbers on that. We'll pay between, stop me if you think my numbers are off a little bit, Jill, but between $2,000 and $4,000 for both of those. Let's just call them both 40-acre properties, and probably sell them each for between 15 and 20 grand on terms. Just like we described on Mike Dugan's deal. So all in, we're going to be in it for $2,000 to $4,000 cash, but we're going to collect probably $400 or $500 combined for the next 15 to 18 years. A month, yeah, for the next 15 to 18 years. So that's what SuccessPlant's all about. Exactly. That's what this is all about, this whole Land Academy thing.
Exactly. So, yep. I'm super excited.
I read that. I read your thing, and they're local too, right?
They are.
So what's your take on, because 99.9% of the deals we send a notary out. They're usually in a different state. What's your take on doing a face-to-face closing on a deal like this?
You know what? I probably would. It depends on we have done that. We had you go down one time. I negotiated the deal, and I had you go down and with your assistant and take care of it. So I might be willing to do that. It saves $50. So my notary fee, I don't know. I have to think about that. On the other hand, is it worth my time for $50? Maybe not. But
well, I'll tell you though. I mean, what does that say? If you're helping a woman, because that's how she's looking at it. That Jill's helping her, and she should, because Jill is. She's just checking this thing off of her lists. Could she get more money for it if she listed it and waited and did a bunch of stuff? Yeah. And we're always upfront about that. Right. Well, and the whole thing is, will an agent even take it on? I mean, we discussed that too. Sure. When it's something like this, it's sometimes very, very difficult to find an agent who is willing to take it on. And especially when the commissions are probably going to be really, really low, that it's not going to be high on their plate. So that's something that every seller has to consider. All right, do I want to get rid of it now? Do I want to hang on to it and then still be back where I started in a year from now when nothing happened? Yeah. Versus I could have sold it and been done, not paid property taxes for another year. A lot of people fight that in the beginning and then they thank us later. In this case, this woman, I think, she just realizes that she just wants to be done with it. Right. So I use Jill's probably so tired of hearing this by now, but I use the gallon of milk example. There's 3 places you can buy a gallon of milk right now. You can buy it at the cheapest place, Walmart.
Right.
Or you could buy it at the grocery store, a little bit more expensive.
Right.
Or you can buy it at a convenience store, which is the most expensive. So when you walk into a convenience store and you put the milk on the counter and you're ready to check out, you shouldn't really complain about how much it costs. You kind of know what you're getting into. And I think, what you're paying for is convenience and ease of drive in, drive out, and the whole thing. So maybe next month during a regular grocery shopping, you'll buy 2 things of milk and you won't have to do it. So I just think that that's really what this is. We're not, we're helping people out and we're buying the property for a cheaper price than they would probably get if they listed it and went through all the stuff.
I don't know, Steven. Well, okay. Yeah, because I'm going to make some money off it. That's true. However, I'm doing all the work. That's another thing they're paying for, is convenience with me. I know how to do the deeds. I know how to complete the transaction. I take care of all the recording. I do everything for everyone too. I really make it.
Yeah. I think
I love what we do. I really feel, honestly, at the end of the day, I know that I'm helping people out. You and I laugh about it. How many times we've been asked to lunch? Hey, when you're in town, you guys can stay with us. It's the cutest thing.
How many people sign up in there? That's one of their big concerns in the beginning. Well,
right.
I don't want to make these lowball offers. It's going to be, I don't want to upset anybody. And the fact is, we've been doing it I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. I forgot about that feeling because I had it in the beginning too. Mm-hmm. But how many times have you just called us and said, thank you, solved this problem?
Right. I've got emails weeks later saying, thank you so much. That extra $1,000 paid for X, whatever it was.
Right.
I didn't think I was going to get anything for this. I was about to give it to the county.
Right.
I was just so worried about it, and it was upsetting me. I mean, and I got something, and I could do something now. I love it. So I do that. And, and I'm never going to.
What don't you like about it? What don't you like about this business? I want to hear this. If there's anything. Can you even be negative, Jill? Or are you just positive all the time?
I have to think about that.
Say something negative.
Oh, gosh, what have I got? What? The only negative thing is some days I can't keep up. I have so many wonderful transactions that I want to act on, and I got to pick and choose and prioritize, and sometimes I'm a little bogged down in deals, but who doesn't want to be bogged down in great land deals? I mean, it'd be like, it's like if you're a realtor, I think, and in your price range, in your neighborhood, everybody is throwing listings at you, right, and you can't accept the contracts fast enough. That's how I feel. And I know that all I got to do is list them and sit back and wait. It's going to sell. It's going to happen, whatever. We have other ways that we do it, but it's kind of like that's my way of interpreting it in that world. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's hard for me.
We could hire somebody. I mean, I always go back and forth. Oh, we should hire this person to do this. And what ends up happening is we almost always choose specific virtual assistants to do tasks that are much cheaper than just having one person kind of sit in the office. But I don't know. We have a few people working for us now, and it's working out great.
We do. Yeah, we have some good negotiators too. I still like to have my hand in that. I don't need to be around to complete the transaction, but on the upfront,
that's the same reason that I handled. I don't mean to interrupt you. The same reason I myself did SuccessPlant, because I could see it in my head. Right. I didn't necessarily, when I started the project, have the technical skills, but it came out great, I think.
I know it did. It's fantastic. Are you looking in there now?
Yeah, I'm right on the front page. This happened an hour ago.
Oh, tell me.
One of our seasoned members got their website up, and she is a self-described perfectionist, so she's waited probably longer than she should have, but she thinks it's perfect now. And then she wrote the website in there, and she asked everybody to take a look at it, see if you can find anything wrong with it, click on all the stuff, and everybody's chiming in.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Whoop, close. Got all excited there.
It woke me up too. Thanks.
You know what? some poor person is like got their headphones on yeah, they were sleeping on the train with their headphones on, and I just put them to sleep, and then I just jarred them awake. Sorry.
They listen to our show as a lullaby.
That's right. I'm sorry. Some toddler was about to go to sleep, and I just woke them up.
It's a lullaby with
this is what the parents use to put them to
slam
sleep.
at the end.
So, what another great. Where else can you find a community of your peers? No, seriously.
But wait, there's more.
To weigh in on stuff like this, to go, hey guys, because we're all doing the same thing here. Does my website look good? Does everything work? How cool is that? So great use, great environment. So. Well,
I think we plugged the word SuccessPlant about 4,200 times on this show, and thank you, Jill.
I just wanted to brag about it. It's worth bragging.
All right, let's go. Hey, let's make sure we report back on those 240s.
Definitely,
right.
I will.
Thanks.
So now, what'd you think?
That was great.
Okay.
Good work.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see what happens on those 40s. Seriously.
Hope I didn't do anything with this mic. Do I need to adjust anything?
It's fine.
Okay, no. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Took out the microphone. Do you ever want to still put a camera in here? Because it would be comical.
Yeah, we could do that easy.
I think that would be really funny if people could see us now and then
see us failing.
See us failing. No. Yeah, I will weigh back on those because that was really good. I think that was a good show.
Yeah, me too.
I like it. I'm excited to go call this. Now that you and I talked some numbers, some good numbers, I'm excited to call this gal back. This is almost one of those that we talk about. If she accepts what I'm about to offer her, this is going to be a run to the bank situation.
Yeah, I agree.
So I need to do this before the banks close. Just kidding. But right, sometimes I feel like that.
Yeah.
I have these deals and I'm like, gosh, okay, quick. Are you going to accept it? And they're like, happy, accept it. And I'm like, okay, well, this is going to happen today before anybody can change their mind.
Yeah.
I'm running to the bank. So.
Hey, good show, Jill. And
thank you.
Even better acquisition.
Thank you very much. We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.